YouTube versus TikTok and the general landscape of the social media platforms has always been a fascinating topic to me, especially because Cowbelly has always operated in the aggregation landscape where we act as a platform would. We do a similar job to what YouTube does. YouTube just does it on a way more massive and technologically complicated scale. And platforms essentially are giant curators. They are able to use technology to properly surface the types of videos that any given user on their website would like to watch. They also do the job of talking to the advertisers, recruiting them, getting them to spend money on the videos. So they also have, I'm assuming, a giant sales team that has relationships with big advertising companies, Apple, AT&T, Sephora, anybody who really buys ads. There's thousands of companies out there. I think the digital advertising market is somewhere around going to approach $1 trillion in the next 10 years or something along those lines. So it's definitely a big addressable market. And as smartphones continue to permeate the world and we continue to see one in virtually almost every person's pocket, it's going to continue to get bigger and bigger. So in the context of that, platforms seem to have been the first iteration of technological conglomerates, let's say, to be able to capture a lot of that attention that people spend on their phones. I was watching a Healthy Gamer short, and he said that people are spending 2 to 3 hours on their phone, and some people are spending 5 to 6 hours on their phone every single day. And that's like the average citizen, which is pretty insane if a quarter of our waking hours is spent on our phones now. And wherever there is human attention, there is going to be value to be captured, regardless of how that attention is being aggregated. There's going to be value to be captured there, and these platforms have been able to do it successfully. So YouTube was a relic of big screens, computer screens, and TikTok is more of a product that has embraced the mobile phone revolution. YouTube having Google behind it has been a huge buffer, and it's been a huge advantage that YouTube has been able to press in the marketplace for a long time. Google is Google, trillion-dollar company, and they have basically reigned untouched for the last 15 years or so when it comes to digital content online. And while that may seem like a relatively short period of time, it's actually pretty amazing how long they've been able to hold that position, given the instantaneous nature of the internet and how quickly information can travel and how quickly groups of people can spawn up together around an idea to execute on it. The power of the internet kind of enables that type of behavior now. I believe that in the future, that's how companies are really going to be run. Companies are going to be much more about people being able to connect through platforms, whether that's Discord or Twitter or whatever, over a common idea, and they get on calls and pool their resources and start to build something. I think it's going to be much less about two dudes who met at college and they got to know each other. And while I definitely do value that in-person type of communication and relationship that really only happens when you are face-to-face with someone interacting daily, I think the fact that anybody in the world being able to connect over an idea instantaneously and talk about it every day via a Discord call is overall a more potent opportunity to create value, because with the vastness of the internet, you can have two people who have had very similar experiences operating in two totally different parts of the world connect with one another over those experiences. And I think those shared experiences and that shared history will create a much more aligned understanding of the vision for the company, a way of thinking about the future. There's going to be a very intuitive way of building the product between those two people. And full disclosure, this second way is the way that Cowbelly has been built. I have connected with people who have faced similar struggles building things online, whether that's demonetizations or the various problems that I've run into running pages on social platforms. And the reason that I'm building Cowbelly GG is to be able to solve those problems for myself and for other people who have experienced them. I guess I did kind of experience this when I was at college. I started the Cowbelly Studios channel. I worked with a bunch of people who were on my freshman floor. It was a grand old time, and I love those guys to death, but they didn't have the same experiences with YouTube that I had growing up. I mean, YouTube for me until then had been pretty much a lifelong journey. When I was 8, 9, 10 years old, I was uploading videos. And through that, it started to grow as an experience. It went from uploading random videos that I took with my little camera to doing music mixes to Vine to memes to Club Penguin content, and then back to memes, and it just grew into this thing. And the people that I've connected with to grow Cowbelly, for instance, Unusual Videos and Free Memes Kids, Nima, who are the 3 people that I work with the closest, all have experience with YouTube. All, at some level, I think have been operating in the social media sphere since they were very, very young. And just their understanding of the dynamics that occur with these platforms and can occur, and the broad understanding that comes with operating within these circles for a long time, especially building audiences, whether that's Twitter or YouTube. I know that Free Memes Kids, typically his experiences with Twitter in general when it comes to content on platforms and how it surfaces and how followers function and how algorithms surface content. Once you know one platform, there's a similar way of thinking in terms of how engagement is driven and how content gets surfaced by all these platforms. And being immersed in that for years and years and years, it gives you a certain understanding and a way of thinking about how these platforms decide to build their technology, how they make decisions around content engagement, content promotion, distribution, etc. And so I think the ubiquity of people who have had similar experiences coming together to build something, being connected regardless of location, is really a big leap forward in terms of how people are going to work in the future. I'll go into Discord servers and I'll see people who they're just talking with each other and they're like, oh, this would be an idea and we could do this and this amount of ubiquity in terms of you have so many people who have faced so many similar issues. You can't replicate that really based on location. And when I say location, what I'm specifically referring to is places like Los Angeles or Silicon Valley, where the culture there definitely inspires a certain type of thinking. But this example, I think, is specifically in the aspect of the fact that you can start to upload videos on YouTube and gain views and create a profile and a following simply from wherever you are in the world. And as a development of that, work is going to become much more about what are your experiences and how can you operate within those experiences and who are the other people who have had similar experiences. For me, that's demonetization, always having trouble being able to properly monetize the content that we do. And I understand why that is. I understand that aggregators, essentially as YouTube's algorithms have gotten more and more efficient at surfacing the correct kind of content, the role of the aggregator, the role of the third party has begun to be squeezed because YouTube and TikTok and all these platforms have just gotten so good at being curators themselves. I mean, they can create personalized feeds of videos based on what the users on the platform want to see. So figuring out solutions to that has always been core to the mission at Cowbelly, especially over the past few years as we've started to recognize that if we want to continue to participate in this social media environment, we need to start building our own technology. We need to start building our own form of a platform. We have to have some type of proprietary technology that we can leverage while operating on these platforms. I see these people in Discord servers and I assume that they're interested in being entrepreneurs and they found out that you can make money online regardless of your location. And there's so much just genius. There's so much hungry talent out there that wants to succeed. I think the barrier to entry for that talent getting into the market, it's no longer required that you have to move to California. You have to know people. The internet has massively lowered the barrier to entry in terms of people who want to be able to make money online and work online and do creative endeavors online. I think the ramifications of that are not even close to playing out yet. The genius that you can assemble of people who are in different remote locations around the world but can communicate with one another simultaneously because of platforms like Discord is completely untapped. And we did it with Memes by Cowbelly on our Memes by Cowbelly YouTube channel. There was 150 meme creators and we all worked together all day, every day, making memes. And it was literally just text-based, sending files back and forth, just giving feedback, giving tips, assembling 2 people over here. They would go off and do their own project. At one point, we made like a Breaking Bad meme that incorporated, I think, 6 or 7 people, and it was just all in Discord threads, and people just, oh, here's the background for this, oh, I animated this, oh, I rotoscoped this, oh, I put this together. And to me, that's so much more efficient than renting an office building for what, 15 grand a month, moving everybody out to the same place, getting them all to come into work every day. This is so much more efficient in my opinion. And there's definitely trade-offs. I mean, you don't get that interpersonal magic discussion connection that you can get when you have 2 people who are actually in person in an office space together, actually discussing something face to face. I think there's an amount of ubiquity that in-person communication, it's really unmatched. But I think overall, it's much more efficient to be remote. Yeah, this video took a turn, but I really like this mode of thinking and working. All right, well, I appreciate you listening today. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.